Our Bible story for today comes from Luke's account of Jesus' life, ministry, death, and resurrection. From a time when Jesus was preaching and teaching and healing out in the fields in a town near Bethsaida, where large crowds had gathered. Here we read that when evening came, his disciples said to him, "Send the crowd away so they can go to the farms or the villages around here to get a room for the night and a bite to eat. We're out here in the middle of nowhere." "You feed them," Jesus said. They said, "We couldn't scrape up more than 5 loaves of bread and a couple of fish. Unless, of course, you want us to go to town ourselves and buy food for everybody." There's over 5,000 people, so this, of course, was impossible. But he went ahead and directed his disciples. "Sit them down in groups of about 50. They did what he said, and soon everyone was seated. They took the 5 loaves and 2 fish. Jesus lifted his face to heaven in prayer. He blessed and broke the bread. He gave thanks for it and then gave it to his disciples along with the fish to hand out to the crowd. After the people had all eaten their fill, in other words, after they were full, they picked up 12 baskets of leftovers. Now, sometimes when we see a problem, we might think to ourselves, somebody should do something about that. And sometimes the somebody is us. When we see those big problems, we might want to say to God, "God, you need to send somebody to do something about this because this is so big, I could never do it. I could never fix it. It's impossible." But sometimes to us, God says, "You feed them," just like he did to those disciples. We need to remember that when we're coming with Jesus, it is not about what we lack, what we don't have, but it's about bringing what we do have and placing it in his hands, because in his hands, in Jesus' hands, it's more than enough. In this story, we're reminded that we don't need to worry about, again, what we don't have, but instead we need to have faith, that we need to trust that God can do amazing things with what we do have. This teaches us that we should serve others with what we have. So what is it that you have that God might be calling you to use?